Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. Here's what we have in the bulletin. Search still on for elderly woman swept away by floodwaters on Tuesday. Special report on mental health in the workplace. Sandy Williams has part one of a two-part feature. Later in sports, FIFA Ethics Committee investigates suspended Jamaican coach. I'm Anthony Lugg. Here are the details. We begin this afternoon in Montego Bay, St. James, where a search is still on for the elderly woman who was swept away by floodwaters near Westgate on Tuesday. The woman, who is feared dead, was among a family of four whose vehicle was washed into the Montego Bay River. Our reporter Jamaica Maitland is in the parish where firefighters and the Marine Police have been out searching from early this morning. Jamaica?
Thanks, Anthony. So we're at the Montego Bay fishing beach where Marine Police were seen searching for the elderly woman. Beryl Walters has been missing for 2 days now. We also observed the officers going upstream into the Montego Bay River to try to see if they could find any sign of Miss Walters. But with each passing day, the likelihood of the woman being found alive is also decreasing. Now behind me is actually where the body of her 12-year-old granddaughter, Janelle Walters, was found in the vicinity of the Freeport Wharf. The officers were seen searching that area also. Debris from further upstream, even where the car overturned, were also washed away right here into the ocean. And we will be here providing the latest update. Reporting from the Montego Bay fishing beach, it's back to you in studio.
Calling in sick to work to recover from an illness is nothing new. But should workers be allowed to take sick leave to deal with mental health? Our reporter Sandy Williams explores the issue in the first of a two-part special report.
For some companies in Jamaica, an employee gets roughly 2 weeks of annual sick leave if he or she has been employed to the establishment for at least 1 year. According to the 1952 International Labour Organization (ILO) Convention, sick leave consists of two components: leave from work due to sickness and cash benefits that replace the wage during the time of sick leave. Therefore, the intent of sick days is to cover employees who have an illness, contagious or otherwise, or have an injury resulting in hospitalization or surgery. The modern workplace has prompted concerns about employees being able to call in sick to work for mental health reasons.
Person should be able to call in when they're having a stressful day, because stress is actually a form of being sick. You don't have to be physically sick like having a cold or anything like that.
It causes all heap of problem because them abuse the system. Say, you know what that now? Say, me work a floor and me call in sick. And I say I want a 1 week because I want to stay home. Is it? And me not sick. Say, me take that as a regular habit. What do you think I got happen?
No, all right. What about if you work in a bank and you're in a stress? Say, like her, my boyfriend left me and me will come and work, and instead he give me $1,000, I might give you about $1,000 plus give you back change on it because me not focus. So things like this, me could do things that we don't really realize how we are do. So yes, it's all about thinking, and if you're not happy in what are you doing, and you're not happy with the circumstance around you, you will do wrong thing.
It's why psychologist Dr. Lakem Samaj says it is important to take breaks to deal with mental health.
It's just like your computer is acting up. You don't want to keep pressing the mouse and pressing the keys. Sometimes you just turn off the computer and restart it. So yes, let's raise the awareness in companies that mental health is the most critical aspect of health. And a lot of people will be suffering in silence. You already have the sick days. The sick days are not just for hospitalization and contagious diseases and so on, but the mental wellness of the team.
The Jamaica Civil Service Association, JCSA, which represents about 30,000 public sector workers, agrees.
We have seen in the public sector where behavioral issues have manifested themselves out of sheer mental health issues. The public sector is a microcosm of the entire society. And we do have persons that are suffering from mental health illnesses in the public sector. And what happens at home will manifest itself in the workplace from time to time. And oftentimes this comes across as behavioral issues, antisocial tendencies, persons who have a low self-esteem and low ability to participate and work in a team. These are evidence that we have picked up from time over time that these are mental health issues that, if not properly addressed, can cause serious problems and dislocation and dysfunction in the workforce.
The fact that up to 80% of diseases are triggered by stress-related issues. So mental health awareness is a very important maintenance and preventive element from even further breakdown. So that's a long answer to the question. Yes, it's an integral part of health. It prevents a lot of sicknesses and it reduces your inefficient use of your time in the office environment.
In part 2, we look at the advantages of mental health breaks to the workplace. Sandy Williams, TVJ News.
A 3-year-old child was among 2 persons shot dead by gunmen in Hanover last night. About 7 p.m., the child was among a group of persons at a shop at Cascade Lucy, Hanover, when a motor car with men drove up and opened gunfire at them. 3-year-old Kamoil Williams and 27-year-old Tavares Stevens were shot. They were taken to hospital where they were pronounced dead. The grandmother of Mr. Stevens says he was no troublemaker and was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. As for his sister,
heartbroken, my favorite brother, heartbroken.
How do you see yourself moving on without your brother in your life?
It's rough. Really rough, it's rough.
a third person was also shot and has been hospitalized in serious condition. The McDonald's supermarket in Gale, St. Mary, was destroyed by fire Wednesday morning. According to reports, around 3 a.m., residents saw fire coming from the supermarket and called the fire department. 3 units, one from Port Maria and the others from Ocho Rios, arrived and conducted cooling down operation. The cause of the fire is unknown. Residents are, however, calling for a fire station in Gale because they say the fire units took over 30 minutes to arrive.
They say post office burned down up, they say it take long to come here. Yeah? So I went by police station then they know. So we don't know where to go. That we don't know where to go. If people don't plan on normal, you know. Yeah, we go with them. Yeah. So we set up, man. We don't know where to go on after, you know that. But after we place this, I think we want a mile local places. So we don't know when we hear this man happy or crying. What else will you do? No.
The insurance was expired in January 2022 and was not renewed. And it's time now for a break, but stay with us. More stories when we return. Welcome back to Midday News and thanks for staying with us. The Health Ministry says the Omicron BA.2 variant is now in Jamaica. In a release this morning, the ministry said 89 samples were sequenced at the National Influenza Center with sample dates from January 1 to March 4, 2022, which showed that 98.9% of the samples were Omicron variants and 1.1% Delta variant. Of the Omicron samples, 2 were BA.2 variant and the remaining were BA.1 variant. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Jacqueline Besesa McKenzie cautioned that the BA.2 variant, according to the World Health Organization, is the dominant variant globally, and the types of illness associated with that variant is similar to the BA.1 variant. The variant is highly transmissible, and as a result, there may be an increase in the number of COVID-19 cases. She added that while majority of cases appear to be mild, persons with comorbidities are at risk for severe illness, and persons who have mild symptoms and no symptoms may be at risk for developing long COVID. The Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, is reporting that only 14 countries in the region have reached the World Health Organization's goal of fully vaccinating 70% of its population. This is ahead of the June 30 target. But speaking at Wednesday's media briefing, PAHO's director, Dr. Carissa Etienne, argued that many other countries have made considerable progress since the start of the year.
In some areas, vaccination has slowed or plateaued. In the Caribbean, fewer than 30% of the population completed their primary series in Haiti, Jamaica, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and St. Lucia. And across Latin America, Guatemala, Guyana, and Paraguay have yet to reach half of their populations.
And Dr. Etienne continues to stress that there are enough supplies of COVID vaccines to meet the demand everywhere in the region.
As of this month, PAHO's revolving fund has delivered more than 141 million doses of COVID vaccines in partnership with COVAX and with the support of donors. But we have learned that supply is just the first step. And that's why PAHO is working closely with countries to also provide technical assistance, planning, and communication support to fill the remaining gaps.
The St. Thomas Municipal Corporation has taken the parish's health department to task about failing to meet its own health standards. The municipal corporation has now issued a deadline for the department to get its act together. Herman Green reports.
1 month. That's the timeline given to the St. Thomas Health Department to give its inspectors and other workers the proper gear to do their job. According to the St. Thomas Municipal Corporation's minority leader, Hubert Williams, the department has reported that workers have been working without the proper tools, such as water boots and other protective gear. He claims that has been the case for the last few months. An update on the situation was given by a representative from the health department.
For the safety equipment, procurement is being done for those.
But Councillor Williams, who represents the White Horses division, was livid, describing the breach as blatant double standard.
This is hypocrisy, because it can't be so you are going to judge me upon that same standard there. When you're not willing, your organization is not willing to really live up to. I don't understand that. I really don't understand it. So I'm just saying that the department really need to take a good look at themselves.
For most sectors, such as the food industry, operational permits and renewals are only given with the approval of multiple public bodies, including the health department.
If a department goes to a particular facility and they don't see certain things, certain criteria, they might give them 2 weeks, and I'm going to threaten them with closure. So I'm giving them some mercy, 1 month. So if we come back next month and the situation is still the same, the local board of health must make a decision on the matter.
However, considering the responsibilities and oversight of the health department, it's not clear what that decision may entail. Herman Green, TVJ News.
And we go now to a look at the latest in the financial world. Here's Cody and Barrett with the Business Minute.
Business news. Tourist attraction Margaritaville Turks is reporting another quarter of losses. For its third quarter, which ended February, the company registered a loss of $167,000. For the same period in 2021, the company made a loss of $261,000. Margaritaville's revenues, however, improved. The company earned $974,000 compared to $6,155 last year. The improved earnings were driven by revived travel and the return of cruise. And in business internationally, Netflix has hinted it will crack down on household sharing passwords as it seeks to sign up new members following a sharp fall in subscribers. The number of households using the streaming service fell by 200,000 in the first 3 months of the year as it faced stiff competition from rivals. It was also hit after it raised prices in some countries and left Russia. Netflix warned shareholders another 2 million subscribers were likely to leave in the 3 months to July. And that's it for the Business Minute. I'm Cody Ann Barrett.
Time now for the top regional and international stories with Sandy Williams.
In regional news, the Grenada government on Wednesday said it would hold its final public consultation on the decriminalization of marijuana on Friday as it moves ahead with plans to amend the existing Drug Act as part of the initiative. The bill was laid in the House of Representatives for first reading in November 2021. At a weekly post-cabinet news conference, Agriculture Minister Peter David said he will indicate to the cabinet the results of the consultations. When he tabled the legislation last November, Mr. David said Grenada will not be focusing on the cultivation of cannabis as part of its initial approach, but instead will adopt a strategy where the first step will be decriminalization for personal and religious use. On the international scene, an explosion on a Shia mosque in the northern Afghan city of Mazar-e-Sharif killed at least 10 and injured 32 people. The incident occurred at the Sadukan Mosque during afternoon prayers. ISIS affiliate group ISIS-K and Taliban rival claimed responsibility for the deadly attack, according to statements shared on Telegram channels and site intelligence group. Separately, a bomb on a bicycle exploded near a Taliban military van in the city of Kunduz, killing at least 5 people and leaving 21 others injured. Another separate explosion in Kabul left 2 children wounded, according to the Kabul police. The attacks come 2 days after explosions rocked a learning facility in western Kabul on Tuesday, killing 6. And those were the top regional and international stories. I'm Sandy Williams.
And thank you, Sandy. We go now to a quick break. When we return, we have your midday sports report. Simon Preston is standing by.
Welcome back. It's now time for Midday Sports. I'm Simon Preston. Let's kick off with football as the Reggae Boys' rescheduled friendly against the Spanish region of Catalonia is now slated for May 25. This fixture was supposed to be played in March 2020. However, it was postponed due to the spread of COVID-19. This match will be used as preparation for the Jamaicans ahead of the CONCACAF Nations League in June. Coach Paul Hall is expected to use this fixture to look at other UK-based players ahead of the Nations League campaign. The Guardian newspaper is reporting that the governing body of World Football FIFA has confirmed that their ethics committee are investigating allegations that suspended Reggae Girls coach Hubert Busby was involved in sexual misconduct in 2011. Former Vancouver Whitecaps player Mallory Enoch made sexual misconduct allegations against Busby in an interview published by The Guardian in November last year. Shortly after the news of the allegations broke, Busby was suspended by the Jamaica Football Federation, coach of the Reggae Girls. The JFF also said last year that a permanent decision will not be made on Busby's future until the FIFA Ethics Committee investigates the matter and makes a decision. Manchester United have appointed Ajax coach Erik ten Hag as their next manager. The 52-year-old Dutchman will take over from interim boss Ralf Rangnick at the end of the season on a 3-year deal, which can be extended by another year. Rangnick, who replaced Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in November, is set to move into a consultancy role. Ten Hag will become United's 5th permanent manager since Sir Alex Ferguson retired in 2013. Staying in England, as Southampton will be looking to move into the top 10 of the English Premier League as they face Burnley at Turf Moor this afternoon. Southampton are 13th in the table on 39 points, while Burnley are 18th on 25. Kickoff is at 1:45. Burnley are 4 points adrift of safety. And to cricket we go now, as Trinidadian all-rounder Sunil Narayan has described Kieron Pollard's decision to retire from international cricket as sad. Kieron Pollard announced his retirement from international cricket on Wednesday, ending a 15-year spell in the maroon colours. Despite retiring, Narayan feels Pollard has more to offer in cricket.
I think he has much more to give for West Indies, but I think he himself has to know when it's time, and I think that's the key, and that's what is important. I wish him all the best in his future endeavours, whatever tournament he's playing, and I'm sure he'll have lots of success. He'll still have a good fan base, and I hope he enjoy it. We'd love to see him playing in West Indies, but I think he knows best, so that I think he's going to focus more on T20 cricket around the world, and I think he enjoys this a lot. So I think there's a lot more cricket in Pollard, so it's not the end, and I'm definitely sure it's more excitement to come.
Pollard is currently suiting up for the Mumbai Indians in the Indian Premier League. And that is it for your Midday Sports Report. I'm Simon Preston. Anthony, it's over to you.
All right, thank you very much, Simon. And that's the Midday News. I'm Anthony Lugg. Join us at 7 for Primetime News. On behalf of the news, sports, and production teams, good afternoon.